Alive? Maybe. It's this weird form when it's kind of half-ass alive. You see it sometimes like that. So, hello everyone. What is the live version of course the Harem Right? We never learn, we never study. Episode 7, season 2, and yeah, as always, right? Like really funny anime with some quirky girls. And man, last episode, Sensei got Sensei. The poor woman. Yeah, the poor woman. As always, Sensei gets very naked, I suppose, in the anime. Yeah, she really does. But anyway, let's start watching next episode. So, and I will say again, I hope Uraka has more screen time, but I don't think she has. Previews like Ogata. Uraka is like a dead character now. It's really weird to me. But anyway, 3, 2, 1, and go. And my favorite best girl now is Senpai. I have thrown away Uraka appearance, physically wise. Uraka would win, but Senpai, man, she's the funniest. So. Senpai is the one I would marry, definitely. I have abandoned. That's the truth. Secret best girl. Secret best girl! Oh, that was so nice. When she was like, I will protect you. Yeah. Oh, she's so perfect, yeah. That was so nice. Together, eh? But yeah, I mean, she is the secret best girl, definitely. The bonus best girl, yeah. Sekiro, yeah, she's the bonus best girl. I mean, when she was like, no, you love him, you're going to live with him instead, abandon our urinate. Yeah, I mean, she's, you know, like that girl, she loves her, yeah. That's a true lover, yeah. But yeah, I mean, the thing is, weird anime though, is like it's so much Sensei, you know, and Senpai, which is clearly the best girl. What happened to the other characters? The other characters pretty much out of it. Yeah, it's like, and Ogata has a lot. Ogata has a lot of screen time too, which is clearly beating the other two in this season here. But Uraka is like pretty much dead. Sensei has half every episode Sensei, and Senpai is also with Sensei, so it's so much Senpai too, right? Yeah. Which obviously Senpai is best girl now. But I feel strange how the anime kind of went from these are the 3 original girls to, well, actually we're focusing more on the two new ones, yeah. It's like the author was like, you know what? I was wrong. Here's 2 better female characters. Yeah, it's like. But it's gonna be the maid thing. I know that though. It's gonna be the maid thing. Something with the maids later on. But in the preview, yeah. Ogata has a maid this time, so Sensei. So I bet you Senpai is gonna be episode again there. And I mean, Senpai had, yeah, it was Senpai Sensei last week too, yeah. Sensei was naked all the time, and Senpai, like Sensei is the fan service. Oh, sorry, Sensei is the fan service, and Senpai is the comedy, right? Yeah, yeah. She's the brain, and the other one is the boobie. Yeah, it's kind of that. Sort of brawl and brain is like boobie and the brain. Yeah. Oh, here we go. The true best girl. Oh, I have sneak, yeah. But as your best friend, yeah, she's the true, secret best girl, yeah. Exactly, I will perfectly protect your romance here. It's like, I will pretend to fake this date, right? So on, yeah, of course you will. Yeah, please go with a date instead. What? They're both sick. He's doing it too, of course. They're both trying to set up the date, yeah. But I wanted to have a date with her. Nani? They're both trying to. Oh my god, they're both trying to, yeah. And she's so happy. Both the semi she's so innocent. Yeah, oh yes. How about the perfect timing? Yeah, exactly. How lucky, yeah. See, he's so nice too. I love her. Yeah, he follows her on Twitter, right? Yeah. I will finally have a date with my best friend again. I probably will. Yeah, she's like, I will kill myself. It's touching. Yeah, it's like I pretend to go to the bath. I am going to the bathroom. Very good. It's good. She's the one like, no, I'm going to the bathroom now. What? Stop. I'm the one supposed to go to the bathroom. Yeah. Oh my god. No, the fight is supposed to be the one, sacrificing himself for the love of the other one. Yeah. Exactly. I guess they still have stomach issues. It's boring. Yeah, he's completely blind always, so. Yes, I won! I will go to the bathroom! Oh, scissoring, yeah. I mean, she wants the Yuri actually, come on. She's trying to deny herself from this Yuri love. I guess Rizu is falling asleep on her. Yuri! Beautiful! The ultimate couple in the anime. Here we go. Yeah. Oh, Rizu! Subimase! No problem. Yeah, it's like, no problem. Yeah, she's having her. Yeah, sniff. Yeah, she's having her dream here. Massive. Yeah, massive blood loss, yeah. The random math teacher guy is the work with this character. But they're both geniuses, right, in math, so they can both like. he drops them. Okay. They're both gonna teach him some lessons, right? Because they're both geniuses at this thing. Clearly, they are gonna own him. Yeah, they're geniuses. Come on, we know that. She's getting off there now, too, yeah. What a genius girl! You must join my department, yeah. And she's like, she's so cool. A lot of blood loss, yeah. Now, she wants to go to math. I don't like math. I really want to do something else, yeah. Yeah, which I think Sensei was completely right there. Why do you want to go something else you're not good at? I mean, I get kind of general thing, but clearly it should be a math, Focus on what you know instead, yeah, or know what you're talent for, yeah. Find your talent and be good at it, yeah. Don't like try to be something you aren't. Honestly, that's my opinion about it. Don't force your major. It's gonna be a much harder life. I'm just happy though, because she's like, math is boring. Yeah, I wanna do math. Yeah. No, she's super happy. I got to do math. I could abandon the stupid math thing. Yeah, I was like. My nose is bleeding so much. Yeah. Please go without me. She's too horny. Like, I have to go to the bathroom and do my stuff. Yeah, like, see you guys. Oh my god. First kiss is very memorable, yeah. We remember the first kiss there in the rainy forest there, yeah. Well, I do see that in my first kiss too, yeah. I remember what the girl name was. Emma is the girl. His name is first kiss. I still remember that too, yeah, sure. Yeah, weird memories now. She's like, go for her. You do her. Pleasure her, yeah. Yeah, walk together, hold hands, something. Yeah, this is hiding. I know you're somewhere around here. I know you're hiding somewhere. And he's, of course, trying to get them to have a Yurimo instead. When she's just like, what's happening? Yeah. Are they? Yeah. Barbecue, indeed. Is she drunk? Because she got a little alcohol, I guess. Yeah, it's a little bit there. The senseis were like, hey, here's a little, yeah, or college student, I guess. Yeah. There's one sip of... the fumes! The fumes got her drunk. Is that even possible? She's so weak. Yeah. She's incredibly weak. Yeah, it's like... She's too innocent, yeah. We didn't give her something, she just got the fumes in her head. Yeah, it's like, that's not possible. Yeah, but this is ridiculous. They have to carry her home now, yeah. The damn fumes, right? Her options are so big, so I can't carry her. What are you talking about? Are you drunk too? It's like, no, I mean, you're big, right? So, I mean, obviously, I'm right. Yeah, it's like... Oh, she's angry drunk now, so I guess not angry drunk. Angry drunk. But she wants to learn psychology, right? Oh, here we go. She's like, let's have a threesome, yeah. She's like, let's always be best friends together instead, yeah. Let's always be together. Yeah, I want a double date, you know, kinda. But each of them are trying to set up a lovable date for one-on-one instead, yeah. Whoa. No, they both have a lot of nosebleed from this thing, definitely. I would never leave your side. Oh! I will strip! What? Whoa! What is happening? I will strip to repay you or something. I will show you my boobies. So what's happening? Yeah, what's happening? Senpai! It's Senpai, definitely. Her voice. It's Senpai! Best girl! Senpai! She's like, hey. Classic Senpai. She's like, get over here, yeah. Yes, MAID coffee time. Here we go. Now it's time for the MAID coffee. It's what I'm waiting for. Especially Senpai is the best girl. Come on, I changed my mind. It's best. Senpai is the best girl. For sure. Okay, she loves Borgum, I guess. I guess she... Gummy hole! That sounds great, yeah. Yeah, Senpai is ultimate tease. I love it. She's always like, oh, apparently it's all the greatest board game ever in Japan. Apparently it's the greatest collection of board game. You did not Ogata was a board game freak. all my game. Or this girl. It's like, are we gonna be best friends now? But I hope you've seen OVA, right? Where she's naked with him and she's like, oh, you like it? That's even better when she's... Oh, here we go, of course. Bokutachi is gonna be a maid, of course it is. It's time. Everyone has to go forced to Senpai's MAID CAFE, right? And be maidified. Oh, this one, of course, yeah. That's the call. I was like, yes! It's always someone that's like, yeah! I think he should be used to this now. It's like, if I bring someone with Senpai... Shorty duo. How rudeness is shorty duo. What rudeness. But yeah, I think, whoa, here it goes like, how do I look, master? Yeah, it's so tight, but I can't really fit my, does it look strange? It's like, 10. Oh man, oh god. Why can't you look at me then? Yeah. Oh, here we go. Senpai's gonna host the board game. Yeah. See, why can't I do this? This should be a real life thing. Board game events with sexy maids. Yeah, where is this? This would sell so well. This would you make so much money. This is a genius event. Everyone will go here. Yeah. But I mean, again, I think Senpai... I mean, I loved Uraka in the beginning, but then we had OVA too with Senpai. When the Senpai is like... And they're in this... I know, this boat trip. She is like, oh, hi! Like that. I was like, there she was. I was like, man, she was so amazing in that scene. And also in that episode, she was kept, flirting with Sensei and... 42 weeks in a row? She's horrible at games? But she was good game. She's like a math wizard. Yeah, of course she's the best because you love, but I don't get it. I don't get it. Is she like a math wizard? Yeah, but everyone loves her. But let's see if... Come on, let's see if Senpai can save it here. Let's see if Senpai can show her skills here. Oh, yeah. I can join, right? Here we go. Double May time. I guess Senpai is a genius at this. Even though it's probably mostly random. Yes. I guess her power is luck or something, because it seems to be a random based game though. You roll dice and you win if you... Luck. What kind of strategy? Kohai. My strategy is luck. But yeah. That's kind of weird though. I mean, I thought about earlier, but I feel both that Senpai and Sensei are kind of like, they're still kind of like the side harem girls, which you feel like they can't win. Like narrative-wise, they can't win, but they have so much screen time, so you kind of like... I do feel the art honestly is a little confusing for me here, because I still feel that they are like a sub-side of the harem, both of them. Like, they can't win by the rules, even if they're better girls. Yeah, that's kind of how it feels though. She's so happy. Oh, she's so happy, yeah. I finally won! 64 losers. And not everyone will be so happy. She's so happy, right? So they're all like, yeah, good for you. I did it. Yeah, and everyone's like, well, she's cute, so it's fine that she's winning, yeah. I don't care about money anymore. Yeah, they're all happy she won her because she's so cute. Classic. Oh, she will get a board game. Now she's so happy here. Yeah, she's really happy that she won. Vogue gambler, that feels like a weird Vogue, yeah. I did a massive Pokemon video. You check it out. I linked it on the YouTube Mori channel. I did a 1.5 hour video for Pokemon and all my complaints about it. But the thing with Pokemon is that it's like the game is still playable, it's still fun, but it fails in every regard, I feel, for like a new console game. That's my short summary of the Pokemon game. Yeah, Sword and Shield. Like, it's still fun, but there's no endgame content, and they removed. I love the GTS, for example. I was a big fan of using the global trade system to keep trading during when I was leveling up and finding Pokemon and so on. So I really missed that in Sword and Shield and so on. So that really irritates me. And they're just collapsing here though. And they cut away. I mean, I think everyone knows they cut away half the Pokemons, right? I think everyone knows that they removed half the Pokemons. And that's what most people are focusing the complaints on. But for me, it's more like you could cut away everything else too. They also removed the endgame content, right? And they cut away systems like that. And you can't turn off the XP. I really like this like that. And you can't catch Pokemons at too high level for you. Which I feel is an incredibly bad design, because you face a really too high level enemy in a role-playing game, which many game has that, and you usually die facing them. But if you manage to beat them, you might get something stronger, so extra item or something whatever, earlier than you should have, right? So if you let it catch a high level Pokemon, but you can't use it because you have the advantage, that would be fine. But now you just can't catch a Pokemon that's too high level. So you face them. That should be a funny event. That should be a great event. It's like, oh yeah, a high level Pokemon. I want a new Pokemon. I want to catch it, but you can't. Yeah, but that's my thing. They removed everything from the game. Obviously, they cut away more than half of the Pokemons, and that's a massive thing, right? And I've been playing with that for a few months now. But then this week, I did a video yesterday. This video, the league started, right, and yeah. No GTS, no thing, and so on, no suckers here. Whatever here. Just gonna see the last bit here. I can rant Pokemon a little more. But see the last bit of the episode. She's a kind of gloomy cat sometimes, yeah. I will say, I think Ritsu is funny and she got big boobies, but I tell you, I don't mean to be a downer, but I got the Pokemon rant on me now. I will say Ritsu is probably my least favorite girl in this anime. I would still marry her, but now I feel like, yeah, I think she's probably my number 5 of all the girls. Probably. Actually number 6, because I think Sekiryo-chan is a secret bonus best girl, so I probably put her even at number 6, honestly. Maybe it's all the gloominess, I don't know. Maybe it's all this thing. I don't know what you mean who now. Yeah, but we're doing our best, right? Well, I said that Kokodisama, yeah, everyone is like, yeah. No, I said that I honestly would say that, and they're focusing a lot on her now here at Ritsu here, but I would probably place Ritsu at number 6, if to be honest here, with all of these gloominess and so on. I probably put, I like Sekiryo a lot more. Uraka so finally though. Preview looked good though. Finally, Miss Tomboy. Finally to get some screen time there. Finally get some screen time there for because I love, tomboy, masculine girls, right? With abs. With abs, right? No, but I was really talking about Pokemon Sword and Shield. It got me into, Ritsu is Pokemon Sword and Shield for me. Like, she's okay. I would smash her. I would probably, I'll be fine with that. Like, but she's not like the best, in my opinion. She's not the best, I feel. Yeah, Furachi I like more. I think, as again there, Sekio, say her name right? I think she is way more hilarious than Ritsu, I feel. And she's pretty slasher like that. Obviously, Sensei is, Sensei clearly got the body right now. But Sensei is clearly the Tilfra. She clearly has had that mature with the body. But again, I think Senpai. The more you see of Senpai, the more I just love Senpai. Like, Senpai is just so damn funny. And I love that Senpai is one of those female characters, right? That gets what's going on. She's not confused what's happening. She knows exactly what the other cats are doing. Right? She's always like, how can I use this to my advantage? It basically is Senpai's best character from Urusuke. Yeah, she's more like, I can see my cunning plot here. Yeah, definitely. I feel this is a horror anime where you kind of use, especially because this anime isn't really focusing on like one girl in particular. Even though again I would argue that Uraka, finally having more in previous period, Uraka has been like just ignored this season more or less. So like one Steven Turbo basically, right? The language scene, but otherwise the other four girls are kind of getting roughly. I think Sensei is getting more, and Senpai is also getting more screen time. So they're kind of running over the other two, but still they kind of, more or less kind of have screen time. So they don't really, you can pick the girl you want, right? But if you watch something like Tenshin Moyo, a great horror anime. That's the first horror anime. And also, again, Tenshin Moyo, Tenshin Moyo had monster girls immediately, right? So, because today is a trend, or today, but I'll say a few years ago, we had Monster Musume, we had Watsujitsu, so on, like a trend of like monster girl horror animes. But actually, the first original horror anime, more or less, like the first real original horror anime, Tenshin Moyo, had already monster girls. So actually, that's like the original kind of horror. Alien girls, different skin color, more like, alien colors, so on, right? That's the first thing. But anyway, Tenshin Moyo is a horror anime, but in that anime, especially in the Tenshin Moyo Tokyo, they were actually very focusing on Ryoko. For she's the best girl, by far, right? She's like the 02, original kind of, badass, tough girl, right? Man, I love Ryoko. But she was clearly like even focused on that horror, man. Even if he has like 5-6 kind of waifus and they all live with him and so on, Tenshi, Akane and her are kind of the clear, love rivalry. And then the other girls are kind of like, they probably would have sex with him, but they aren't really like the one he's gonna end up with, right? And it's very clear in that anime. So I feel actually, honestly, that older horror animes, for Love Hina is the same thing too. In Love Hina, it is clear that Naru is gonna win. In Love Hina, the first girl, right, Naru, she will clearly win. It's very, very clearly from like the beginning. Even if there are like 6-7 other girls there, they are not gonna be winning, right? But I feel in this anime, it is definitely more. I feel this is like more modern horror animes here in Bokuben, that they are more like, it could kind of go either way with several of them. Yeah, it is more kind of like free for all. I think I agree with that. Yeah, the whole thing is like, pick the girl you want, that they all have roughly the same screen time. Mine Uraka, which they keep ignoring, but yeah, like the other ones have, more or less. So, especially since they start focusing more on Senpai Sensei, so they kind of because at the beginning they weren't there. So if you look at all episodes together, Senpai and Sensei now has probably had equally amount of screen time, like the other three girls, since they missed first episodes, but this season here they have a lot more instead, right? So they kind of equal out altogether. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if the author picks someone, they would develop that. But I feel that this anime isn't it at all right now. Just kind of just throwing it around. I feel just like there's no one I feel that the author is really focusing on right now. But I think it's the same thing in most modern horror anime. I think it's the same with like quintuplets. I haven't read the manga, right, but in the anime, and I feel that all the girls in quintuplets also got kind of roughly the same screen time and so on. I feel Orosuki, obviously Pansy is clearly the best girl, and Orosuki by far the best girl. Sunshine though, I love Sunshine. You gotta call Sunshine last episode. That was a true best girl there, but I feel like Orosuki similarly, even though Pansy has a very different storyline, but I feel that at least Cosmos has equally amount of screen time as her, right? So they're really focusing on like one girl particularly. But in the older horror animes, Girls Bravo, same thing, Green, same thing. There is more like this one main female character, maybe two, usually two, then I guess kind of rivalry, right? The love triangle rivalry, and then the other like 5-6 girls, they're kind of there, and they're kind of naked and so on, right? And they kind of boobies stuff like that, but they're just kind of there, and the first two main girls, they are one he will marry, right? And so I feel the more classic horror animes, there was much more storyline on a particular girl, I would say, definitely. Yeah, Sunshine. I don't know, that was so weird to it with Urusuke, because Sunshine clearly was backstabbing him in the beginning, so you're like, yeah, what happened with Sunshine? But then in that episode, he was like the most pure, innocent, best friend, boyfriend, yaoi guy ever, so it was really weird. It's like, is he doing this because he's trying to trick Yoro, or is he his best friend again? But I loved it though. I was like, yeah, I'm saving you. The dolphins, was the best. Jumping into the dolphin, that was amazing. That was so good. I was laughing. Oh my god, that episode was so fantastic. And yeah, I think easily right, Urusuke is the best horror anime this season. Well, this year, this year. Let's go so far, yeah, this year. And I liked Quintuplet too. I think Quintuplet was really good too. Really funny. But Quintuplet, as for this anime, Bokuban are very traditionally, comedy, cute, and right. Urusuke is like a freaking. There's some other. It's obviously fourth walling and so on, but man, the comedy there and the writing, intelligent characters are so better. It really stands out. Yeah, exactly. That's what I keep saying every time, though. That last thing there. That feels a little strange in the anime, though. There is always this. I think it's like a very, very common formula in Bokuban. That if there's a Sensei episode, Senpai is there too. Like always. Yeah. Like OVA, they are at the beach, right? And then they get naked and so on, right? They lose the sexy dolphin tickets. So, yeah. Who is losing their bikinis? So on. Senpai and Sensei and so on. Yeah. It's always like those two, right? And it's like, oh yeah, and the maid. Cause it started since the MAID CAFE with Sensei. Since that episode, if there's a Sensei episode, there's always also a Senpai episode, or she's also there somehow, or they're like, they're somehow combined in some way there. So that is like always like that. It's always like that, and I keep saying that if there's a Sensei episode, Senpai is gonna show up and be like, yeah. But anyway, yeah, that's the Bokuban. There's more animes tomorrow, and yeah, Urusuke. If you haven't seen it, you should absolutely see Urusuke. It is way better than this anime, and this anime I think is good, but Urusuke is like masterpiece good. Yeah, Urusuke is like 10 out of 10 good. It's kind of like the Sword. It's back to the whole Pokemon Sword and Shield thing here. It's like this anime is pretty good. It's pretty funny. It's pretty entertaining. You can watch it, right? That's kind of like Pokemon Sword and Shield. It's pretty good. Like you play it. You won't be bored, which is pretty good, right? But it's not a masterpiece. It's no like Pokemon is no 10 out of 10, right? It's just like it's playable. It has the formula there. It has the Pokemon. It has the gyms and so on. So basically, yeah, playing any Pokemon game is like watching another horror anime that you see earlier. And it's like, yeah, you know what you're gonna get. There are like 4 or 5, 6 hot girls. There's some cute scenes, some comedy scenes. You kind of know what you're gonna get, right? They're very similar to Pokemon. Yeah, it's very traditional and so on. But it's not the Pokemon Sword and Shield that's like, wow, this is new, this is fresh, this is standing out, right? Urusuke, that's kind of how a new anime should be, right? If you actually want to make a really good new anime, it's like, wow, this is like similar, but there's a lot of new stuff that's better written, more technical characters, better dialogue, and so on. So yeah, the Pokemon thing, debacle, I've been writing about it a lot this week as I work with, and as I am kind of like the JRPG expert. If anyone is, it's me. I always claim that. And I mean, I talked about here's my Pokemon, right? Like for example, right? Here's the Moon one, right? Much better game than Sword and Shield. Much better game. For example, it's I have a long video about it. You can check out either on Discord, but I also linked it here on this YouTube channel. You can find all my what's it called? Whatever. If you look at my YouTube. The YouTube message board, like what is it called on YouTube? So I can send message right to my subscribers on YouTube. So earlier today, I linked my very long 1.5 hour video Pokemon using that system. I don't know what it's called. I don't remember what it's called, but it's called something like something post, like community post maybe. Create post, it says me. But yeah, I think it's like my community post, something like that, right? There I linked my very long Pokemon video if you're interested. But again, the basic thing with Pokemon is that everything is used less of. A lot of people who are defending it are saying, oh, you're also angry because you can't have Pokemons, which is a huge thing, which is clearly the biggest thing. But it's like, yes, that's a big issue too. But then everything else is also less of. They removed 132 moves, I think it is. They removed, as I mentioned, GTS, which I really liked. They removed GTS. They removed. There's no endgame content, right? There's no dungeons in the game. There's no dungeon actually. There actually is no cave or dungeons in Pokemon Sword and Shield, which is really weird. Yeah, that is really, really weird. There's no actual. You can't enter a freaking dungeon in the game, right? You always have a dungeon. You need the flash, and you need to, and so on. And because of that, part of that, there's also less puzzles in Pokemon. There's less typical, ice puzzle thing with to go around and so on. But yeah, they remove like everything, right? And that's the thing, because the main thing people are angry about, but I don't even angry about that. That's not my biggest concern either, the National Dex thing. But it's silly because they removed half Pokemons, and then they said we're doing it so we can make better graphics and better animation. But then the animation and getting crap. Like they're just bad, so they haven't really accomplished anything with doing that. If that's the truth, and I don't believe for a second it's the truth, but like it's I looked at some Pokemon's right, and like compared to my last game, you could make a lot better animations in like one day. Like you have a lot of models, yeah, but like that's the thing. Like it's more like it should be more quality and less quantity, but it's less quantity and less quality. So that's why it's completely failure, right? Because like we removed half the quantity, but we also failed the quality. And then it's like, oh my god. So one thing also which is a big concern, which I didn't even know when I did my long video yesterday, is that how to say it, the save file, if you have like the from the eShop, I think, don't have the DLC, I think, that can not only corrupt your save file for the Pokemon game, but also like destroy or at least remove save files on other games on your Switch. That's like a massive issue. So if you buy, so that's one thing I can say immediately at Pokemon. That's proven to be true, because a lot of people have the issue. If you're playing Pokemon Sword and Shield from the downloadable version and have the autosave on, that can ruin your memory, your save and so on for other games, and corrupt your memory card and stuff like that. So that's like a really crazy quality short issue. That's like a complete, showstopper. What's usually called, when I worked in this game companies, you have usually four different levels of bugs. You have the low, you have the medium, you have the high, and you have what's called the showstopper bug, which is like you cannot ship with this kind of issue, because then we get sued pretty much. And having a bug that destroys other game save files for the user, for the customer, right? That I would say is easily a showstopper bug, because clearly people are gonna get effing upset, right? And maybe you have going to the store, say that I bought this game, or I guess e-store now, and it's ruined my other game, so owe me money for more than one game and so on, right? So that could really cause some issues, and it really is, right? And that's what issues too in Japan. So I would say this thing. I feel I don't want to be like I want to be. But I'll say this honestly. I feel that Japanese consumers, when it comes to Pokemon and so on, are usually a little more. They are nicer, I would say, right? Nicer than the Western consumer. The Western consumer complains more, I would say. In general, at least for Pokemon and so on, I would say so. And even I would say, you follow the Twitter tweets on Japan and so on. Even here in Japan, it is like a lot of hate, especially with that safety and so on, right? So that shows you that even if even the most like the most hardcore fans in Japan are like, oh, this is not okay. But anyway, that's another thing. But yeah, I didn't even know when I did my long video about the save thing, but it's proven to be true, and that is very, very dangerous, and they have to patch that. And it just shows you that the whole game has a lot of issues. It's a lot of nothing more for today though. So that's why I can live stream talk here and just rant Pokemon again. Nothing more today. Tomorrow we have One Piece, Boruto, and we have Vinland Saga should be back tomorrow, right? Because it was delayed last week. But yeah, so this is why I can rant a little bit here, right? But again, I would say I think that's important to know. If you play Pokemon, if you play Pokemon on the from the DLC at least, turn off the autosave, because that is hello night, folks. Because yeah, it's very long after yeah, I'm just kind of ranting here now Pokemon. But again, yeah, if you're playing Pokemon, don't use the autosave, because they can corrupt your save file for other games. They haven't passed, to my information, they haven't passed it yet, or at least not proven to be solved. So I would definitely turn off the autosave if you're playing Pokemon, because that is a massive technical issue there. Very, very scary. I would go bonkers if they removed one of my. Yeah, I usually don't do it either, but yeah, just so people know, I can say it again, but that's super dangerous. But that's it with Pokemon though. I don't talk about too much here, because again, check out my other video, which is just 1.5 hour long about the game. You can find it in my community and from Discord and so on. But it's my other channel, but yeah. Because I put it up on my other channel where I do more like game dev stuff, or I plan to do more game dev stuff and so on. So that channel, that video you can find there. But basically, again, Pokemon Sword and Shield is fun. You can play it and it's fun, but it's not great, right? I think that's kind of the summary of Pokemon Sword and Shield, I would say. And the biggest thing for me, as I compared it to in this very long video, I say it again here, is that it's very shallow and very bare-boned compared to other JRPG games, right? So I collect the RPG games. I mentioned in the video. For example, right, here's my DQ11, right? What's on the Bua here? Oh, that's DQ Heroes. Oh yeah. Souls. Oh, Catherine is over there. And so on, right? I have the other more expensive games somewhere else, right? But yeah. And if you compare Pokemon to, well, for example, Dragon Quest 11, but any other game, and not even just like modern Switch games or whatever, but compared to like Suikoden 2 or something, or something else, right? Some other JRPG game, it's just less of what those games back in the 90s had, FF7 or whatever. Right? They have mini games, they have secret bosses, they have this thing, right? And Pokemon has nothing. There's no endgame content in this game, and it's just like all other AAA role-playing games from Japan and the typical Japanese role-playing games. They are so filled of extra content and mini games and so on and so forth, right? And secret recruitment, this and this and this and this thing. And Western games are filled with side quests, right? It's enormous side quests one. And when you enter the Pokemon game, you have these open world areas, and there's just nothing there. There's no side quests to do it, right? And there's no items. And it reminds me a lot of FF15. FF15 was for me also a big disappointment. I am a huge Final Fantasy fan. I have everything Final Fantasy. I even had, when I took my high school, what is it called? Whatever it's called. In my home country, you always have like this kind of placket with like a, like a baby on or something like that, which is something a silly tradition. So I hate that. So I made my mom have an image of Cloud instead. I was like, give me a image of Cloud instead. Yeah, I want to have that thing. That I want to have, yeah. Screw this stupid. Actually, I wanted Sephiroth, but she took Cloud. I was like, okay, fine. But, so I'm a big fan of FF15 was also okay. But one thing it was really bad with was the world. When you enter like a factory in the game, those like non-storyline factories, you can just walk around for like an hour. There's no item in the factory. You can walk around, you can go around different areas, right? And there's almost no enemies whatsoever. And you can just like, there's a lot of like just empty area, or like, yeah, like rooms, and all the rooms have no item. There's no interesting enemies, even if they are enemies, and so on. So you spend a lot of time just like aimlessly, searching places, and there's nothing there. And you can only find items basically in like the very specific dungeons, or like this is the legendary dungeon of this boss or something. They have items, but not items in the normal like random kind of dungeons outside in the world. It's like this like military festival. They're completely empty. And that is so weird, right? Compared to all other Final Fantasy games. You enter a dungeon and it's gonna be like one item in every freaking corner, right? You take every path to find everything, and you wanna go completely 100%, so you take every damn route you can find in every dungeon, in every factory, in every so on, to find everything. Stuff like that. Fight every enemy to get some and Stephen them and rain them and so on. Yeah. But in that game it's just completely empty everywhere. Completely empty. And it's very, very disappointing. And the same thing with Pokemon. You open world thing, and it's just Pokemons, but there are very few of them. There's no items, there's no extra quest, there's no extra events happening in the game, there's no random thing happening actually, if you ignore the Pokemon randomly, appearing. But there's nothing like actually random that you can't find any extra events or some Pokemons that are only like, if you do this thing, then this cat will be saved from this girl, and then this happens, and then you get this unique Pokemon for some modern version. Nothing of that. So the open worlds are completely empty, and it reminds me of F15. I think it's the exact same issue. You can just walk around in the world and it's like, oh, there's just nothing here. But still, the game is just pretty funny, right? It's not the best game, but it clearly is not the worst either. It's still Pokemon, so it's still enjoyable, but it's not the best thing. But yeah, from a professional standpoint, I think it's very interesting to follow the whole shitstorm though. It's really funny. People are defending it, giving it a 10 out of 10, clear on 10 out of 10, but it's not a 0 out of 10 either, right? And people are like, people are going up here, people going down here, and the truth is more like, it's more in the middle somewhere, right? Yeah, it's more like it's more like a 5 or a 6 or so. It's more in the middle, but people are like, going around like this, right? And it's like, man, that's just a typical thing I think for today's society with everything. It's on the internet. Everything's either amazing or horrible. I don't think it's like, it's probably more like here in the middle. That's probably more the truth of most stuff, right? That being said though, Pokemon really should be amazing because they have an enormous amount of money, and they have this huge, IP they have for 20 years plus, right? And they're not really able to like really utilize their IP or really live up to the financial and economy they have, right? Because they have so much stuff there. But at the same time though, I will say this thing though. I want to obviously it's not 0 out of 10, but I also think that because there are so much people also giving it a 10 out of 10, which it really doesn't deserve either, it's almost kinda good that people are doing that. Not good, but like they kinda equal each other out or something. So I can see though why people are also underrating it, because they kind of fight overrating it, as with everything, right? So you kind of get like an equal value of just the nullifying each other out or something. Something like that. But I don't think it's how would I say it? When I compare the game, I think the biggest issue for me, for a Pokemon game, perhaps, but now it's supposed to be a console game now. It's supposed to be a lot better. I think that's the biggest thing, right? And but I also think one thing though, my last point here, because I have a long video about this yesterday, so you can watch instead from my real thoughts about it, right? My real deep thoughts about it. I think a big issue though, and why I also get so much hate, especially in the West, is because all the reviewers, like IGN, GameSpot, Too Much Motor Girl, and so on, why they are like, saying it's the best game ever, that's obviously ridiculous, but they're not talking at all about the issues. I think that's the biggest thing why they get so much hate, right? And it's very obvious to me, because they are like, this game has no flaws, right? Yeah, and that's ridiculous. The game is fun, but it clearly has flaws, right? And if you do like a review and say that, everything is perfect, it's exactly what I wanted, no one's going to believe that, because everyone knows it has literal flaws, like the obviously Dexter thing is obviously they have Pokemon. So there are clearly flaws there, and half the reviewers were giving it high scores. They're like, there is no flaws. it's the perfect game ever. Yeah, and it's like no one believes that for a second, right? So that is why they gain the most hate, right? Because it looks completely biased. It is biased, but I mean it's obviously biased as they are just not even mentioning anything about like GTS, who needs that? Yeah, and so on. They're like Dungeons, who needs that? Yeah. No, but the thing is that it's not our opinion. I think that's the issue though. Preferences is one thing, but if you do a review and say that, oh, there is no GTS, you could argue and say, but I didn't care about it anyway, so it doesn't affect my enjoyment of the game, right? That's a fair statement. But if you don't mention it, I think that's a problem, right? Because most of the reviewers, they aren't even mentioning that it is, because there is clearly a lack of content, which is a factual lack. So it's not an opinion that there is no GTS. It's not an opinion that there is no dummies. That's a factual statement, right? And then you could argue and say, is that a big or a small deal? And you could argue how important that is and how fun that is, and if the other new stuff is funnier and so on, right? And that's a fair game, right? You can argue and have your opinion, your preference, if it's a big deal or if this new thing makes it better and so on, right? But most of the reviews, they are basically not even saying, or they are completely ignoring that there is no dungeon and so on, right? And that's why you know it's very phony, because they're not even giving their opinion or preference on it. They're ignoring that there is a difference, right? And then you're like, well, and then it's probably why. Yeah, so yeah, exactly. It's like the first thing you should do when you review something or actually critically analyze something, right? Is that you first, like I do anime here too, right? Is that you first say, okay, this is the facts, this is my knowledge, like this horror anime is a good horror anime because it has like all interesting female characters. Each female character has unique personality traits, and they all have great design. They have different cool hair colors and like clothing style, and it's aesthetically pleasing and so on, right? You can have all of that, right? You can you should how to say it, present the most unbiased facts you can, right? The most objective facts you can say. Okay, this thing, and then you can argue and say, well, and I really enjoy this comedy dynamic between the main character and, for example, then Senpai. I think that's really, really funny, and that's why I argue for that Senpai is best girl, right? And so on. So that's kind of how you do it, right? But most of the viewers then, they're not doing that, right? They're saying like, I like this 5 stuff, and then it's like, yeah, but it's this other 50 stuff, and there's mentioned, yeah, they're ignoring it. So, for example, if I would review Bokutachi here and only talking about, let's say, Ritsu. So I'm like, oh man, Ritsu, this anime is amazing. There is this like glasses girl. She's so funny. She got huge boobies. It's so awesome. All the boob jokes. It's so hilarious. And then someone's like, yeah, but how do you like, and he's only talking about Ritsu, right? And then like, and there's the other 2 girls too, and they're pretty okay, yeah. And like, yeah, Uraka, she's pretty funny, yeah. Like if that was my review of this anime, that would be really strange, right? People would be like, why haven't you mentioned Senpai? Why haven't you mentioned Sensei, right? People would be like, Sensei I think is the most popular female, I think, pretty sure that, yeah. People would be like, why aren't you mentioning Sensei, right? Or so on, right? People would be like, why aren't you reviewing Sensei and Norioki's, dynamic and relationship? Why aren't you mentioning that? Why aren't you reviewing, Uraka and him, and so on, right? So that would be really strange. It would be really, really weird if I only reviewed one of the girls, or maybe 2 of them, or whatever, right? And I think that's what they do in Pokemon. They're reviewing like half the game. They're reviewing like this part. They're like, oh man, it's really fun. Oh yeah, the basic Pokemon's really fun. But everyone knows, I think one problem too, I guess, with the reviews is that everyone knows that the basic core gameplay is great in Pokemon. That's all it has been, and they clearly can't fail on that, because we all know that the different types, different combinations, the passes and so on that introduced in Gen 3, all that is great, and that has been great since ever, and we already know that. So honestly, I think that's an issue too, right? Because if you do a review, the IGN review is very much like this. They spend a lot of time talking about these facts that we all know already true, right? We all know how Pokemon are. Like 99% of the viewers of that review, they already know the basic premise of Pokemon, right? Like the most basic gameplay. They all know that, yeah. So there's not even interested to hear, and they're like praising Pokemon for being Pokemon, kind of, right? And they're not talking about anything else, more or less, it feels like. But a lot of this is spent on like the basic core, which is kind of strange. It's kind of like if I review this anime and I spend saying that, man, this idea of having one guy and 5 girlfriends and this kind of like a harem, that's really cool and interesting. And then it's like they all love him and they fight about that, and that's really unique and creative. Like if I did that thing right, people would look at me like I'm an idiot. If I like reviewed a harem anime today, 2019, and I praise it for being like a creative, unique harem anime on the basic premise of this being a harem anime, that'd be really strange. Five Hanayoma, that's Quitapas, right? I'm just thinking in my head there. 5 right? 5 Hanayoma quintuplets. My computer is really lagging here. Okay, my Google is pretty classic. But yeah, the interesting comparison I realized now though, because it really is like if I would just review like this anime or quintuplets, right, and sit to say, oh, it's an amazing unique anime because it's like this harem thing is so fresh and like that's really strange. That would be really strange if I were getting it praised for what, one guy, 5 girls, interesting dynamics with that. Well, I've never seen that before. That would be strange, right? Yeah, quintuplets, yeah. Yeah, the fan base is always like that, but the fan base, I mean, is always like that, right? In most harem animes. I think especially in quintuplets, because all the girls are so similar, they're very different. I mean, but like, appearance-wise, they're very similar, right? So, so it's like the fights are the fights get into kind of like a weird station, I feel, because they're physically similar. So instead, they are very like polarizing in their meeting with the main character, I guess. It's also it's very hands-on, I feel, how he constantly gets into a very, very direct quotation with the personality, I think. Which is pretty good, but it's like, I'm just saying it different. But yeah. Well, I mean, I obviously live in the harem of my life I'm talking about. It's not unrealistic. No, but I mean, I like harem too, right? But I think that, my last point again here, Gideon, man, you got me in Pokemon, and I got ranting again, right? But I say again, like, that's why Orosuke works so well too. Because Pokemon, yeah, it's fine. Quintuplets, yeah, it's fine. But Orosuke is doing that thing that you want to see that's new, right? It's doing that thing. It's like, it's a horror anime, but is it really? Yeah, in the beginning at least, it's very much like, wait, it's a horror anime, but not really. Yeah, and it's doing that thing, right? And I think that, Pokemon is even trying to do that, right? In comparison to Pokemon, yeah. Pokemon is basically, Bokuben, yeah. It's just like, yeah, this is horror anime. You know what to get. 5, 6 cute girls. They're all sexy. It's funny, but it's something like innovative in my opinion. And like Pokemon again, it's really entertaining, but it's nothing compared to Orosuke. Orosuke for me is like 10 times as good, right? Because I kind of go with logarithm there, yeah. So Orosuke, it's at least 10 times better, I feel, than this anime. Because it's like, yeah, that anime breaks everything. Like last episode of Orosuke, spoilers, but having his male best friend suddenly be his like best girlfriend, kind of thing, yeah, that was genius too. Even though I agree that like, I'm also like suspicious of Shanshan's, actual motivation, but it was really funny. It was really, really funny, and that wouldn't happen, I feel, in most other horror men. But still, though, like, yeah, that was very different. That was very, very different. Orosuke keeps surprising me with his amazing writing and so on. So that's like really, it really stands out, right? And I think that pairing against Pokemon, not itself, but Nintendo is known for being able to really like, take something that we know and love, and like, if we do this thing, they're really good at like taking the formula and doing a good twist on it, enough twist on it that is still the same basic thing, you know, do Pokemon. But Green is good though. It's the opening. They're naked in the opening. Like, man, the good old days, they were naked all the time. But that's way less censorship. Yeah, this anime is starting off way, you know, yeah, the animes today are definitely more censored when it gets to that. But yeah, like I don't know, like the anime isn't finished yet, but I probably would say that Onosuke could seriously be my #1 harem anime ever. I'm trying to figure out like that might be. I'll figure out by far anime. Is it lagging now? I have no CPU warning now though. Maybe it's a little laggy. I don't know, it could be my computer. Perhaps. Yeah, it's no warnings. What's the CPU say? No, it shouldn't be laggy. But yeah, that's my take on harems. It's refreshing and good. I'm trying to figure out some old school harems. Negi must be good too, though. Obviously, it's very much Latina, but there's some more good harems, you know, out there. Well, okay, Monster Musume I really love too, though. Monster Musume I really love too. Talk about harem animes. Sakurai, is that her name? I keep saying her name wrong. I have to admit, yeah. Monster Musume is really good. We've seen 2 there. I heard something about a spin-off coming. But yeah, Monster Musume is fantastic. I really love the whole Monster Girl thing, definitely. And I love those Monster Girl games for that matter. Yeah. But definitely love Monster Girl games too. Monster Girls are fun. It's more, you know, it's even more, you know, unreal, right? Even more funny. Yeah, Araki-san is probably my favorite personality-wise for sure. She's the waifu. She's the one you would marry, definitely. I mean, Mia is Aqua, you know. It's so yeah, Mia is my goddess, right? Mia is yeah, it's you know, it's the same voice actor as Aqua and so on. So so Mia is hard to not love in that sense. But yeah, exactly. I mean, Rakuten is like the Oneshan, definitely. She's clearly the Oneshan, for sure, right? I'm thinking here, you know, I don't know. For me, it's like Rakuten or Centuria, right? It's the name, yeah. The Kentaur. I really love her too, though. She's a, yeah. But she's a tomboy, though. She's a Kentaur tomboy. And she's like, oh, yeah, I love, yeah. Either her or Rakuten is my favorite. She's amazing too. The mermaid I find, what's her name? Miro? Yeah, her name escapes me now. But the mermaid I find is one more funnier character. Yeah, her looks are good. Her personality is just kind of she's the hentai, you know. She's the I want to see. I want the Netorare. I want to marry you, and I want to have sex with me anyway. Yeah, her personality is horrible. Yeah, her personality is horrible. She wants him to marry her, and then she wants to like have a like, you know, either threesomes or watching him do other women or something. Which actually, I guess, in a way, is a good wife for them because she's like lets you have affairs, right? She wants to have it, right? So you can have like 2 girlfriends or something. Yeah, and on the side, she's like, yeah. Oh no. Yeah, I don't know if you can see me still because I'm still recording here, but yeah, my computer ran out of memory. Actually, can you still see me? Okay, maybe it says I think my computer can't record it anymore on my computer, my hard drive, but I can still stream it to YouTube. I think, maybe. So can you still see me now? It probably means I can't record this right now on my computer. Okay, good. You can still see me. That was for live stream, right? If I was recording it locally, it should stop, right? But now my computer is out of memory now, I guess. But I guess to do it to live stream, yeah. So let's talk about a little more because I love Monster Musume, yeah. So I mean, it's interesting, right? Would you want to marry someone that's like the mermaid? Because she is like, if you marry me, I will let you have sex with other girls. I want that, yeah. Would you marry her? I mean, it's a weirdo. It's a weird situation, right? Where it's like, yeah, I guess, open relationship. She's very, very open with that immediately, so... but yeah, I would much rather marry, Rakti Neshan. She's clearly the classic Oneshan waifu. That has a good personality and she's intelligent and so on. But I still think I would... but how do you think about Centuria then? Don't you like Centuria B too? I'm the only one loving the masculine Kentaur lady. Come on, she's amazing too. Yeah, she's an Arara. Yeah, she was like Arara. That's true, she was like Arara. Oh man, that's true. I would say immediately that who I like the least is Puppy. Puppy just kind of irritates me. I mean, Puppy is funny, but sometimes I'm just like, God damn, Puppy, just be quiet. Yeah, I feel, Centuria is awesome. Come on, I can't be the only one loving Centuria. See, she's freaking badass. I definitely prefer her over Mia though. Mia is the boss voice, of course, but yeah, Puppy I find mostly she's like an annoying child mostly, and Sue is just being Sue, right? So. But Puppy I feel is like a 5-year-old. It's like, and it's like hyperactive 5-year-old. And Sue is like I don't know, the reverse. She's like I'm not hyper 5-year-old. But she's also like, they're both like 5-year-olds, both of them, right? But Sue is like very, very laid back. And Puppy is like super hyper instead. But they're both kind of the same age, right? They're both kind of like small children. Not really waifu. Yeah, that's true though. Yeah, Sue is kind of like the... What was her name now again in Arifurata? That the what's like the Undine mermaid girl in Arifurata? I can't remember her name now, but I mean clearly he found this like water girl right in Arifurata in the end of the season, and she was like a mermaid, also kind of like Undine, whatever they call that race in that anime. But her and Sue, when I think about it, was very similar, right? Kind of like that. Yeah, Papa. Yeah. The Dragon Girl, but the Dragon Girl isn't in the horror, right? Maybe I haven't read the manga. I'm waiting for season 2. I'm waiting for season 2. Yeah, never getting it. But the Dragon Girl is kind of like on the side, right? She's kind of like not really into him, right? Well, she's not a ghost. She's a Durendal, right? Is that what it's called? Isn't that sword? Know what I was saying? Oh my god. Yeah, Dragon Girl is very tomboy. Yeah, she's cute too. But also, isn't it called Durendal? Oh my god, my head, I'm tired. Like in Durara, yeah. Durara's a sword. Okay, my mind is completely like Sensei. Oh my god, why is my mind not working now? Let's call them again. D something. Dulahan. That was called. She's a Dulahan, right? The girl. Yeah, the head. Like Celtic, right? Yeah, like Celtic. Dulahan. I was like, Dulahan, that's a sword, yes. Dulahan, that's what they're called. Durendal is like a famous sword. Yeah, I was like, no, Dulahan. And I was thinking about Celtic, right? But that's a good horror anime. Another horror anime that I really like is Smith sounds pretty cool too. And I like the zombie girl too. The zombie girl is badass too. Her name like Zombina, right? Yeah, she's badass. Yeah, the tough zombie girl. And the Uni girl, the very big Uni girl. She's pretty cool too, though, in the squad there. But another monster musume kind of anime I like that was airing at the same time is Jitsunu Watashi, right? Is that what it's called? I say that is that right? Jitsu wa Watashi wa. It's also a good horror anime, I feel. With cute monster girls, right? Oh yeah, that's true. That's why I like Zombina. She's like Senpai, that's true, yeah. She's like Zombina, yeah. She and Zombina are very similar, yeah. That's where I get it from. I like it. Yeah, I like that. But yeah, Jitsu wa Watashi, it aired on like the same season as Monster Musume. It's like double monster girls there. that I can think was a good horror anime too, with vampire girl, little alien tiny girl. That was a new thing at least. Girl with like goddess glasses. But also though, this was my favorite, right? Gender bender girl, yeah. Yeah. That was amazing. Spoiler, but if you haven't seen Nitsuba Watashi, I love the idea there. There is a werewolf girl in that horror anime, and she's like a super horny, slutty werewolf girl. I was like, oh yeah, look at my boobies, yeah. Like I'm gonna carry my boobies. It's crazy, super slutty. And on the same time, when she has the whole moon thing, right? She becomes a man instead. Instead of, yeah, she sees the moon, right? She changed gender instead of turning into like a werewolf. Oh god, that was so funny. She was a great character. Oh god, she is hilarious. And then of course he's always angry that the main character has like touched his, done stuff to him and he's a woman and so on. It's weird, and they have different personalities. So yeah. Yeah, werewolf girl. She's amazing. I was like, man, she's so hilarious. And it's like night and day, right? When she transforms. Yeah, she's incredibly attractive. She's super horny all the time. And then she's like, like a douchebag male guy that hates him and he turned into a man. And so on, yeah. And it's always weird, right? It's always weird. She's fantastic. That I think is an underrated anime. Very few have seen, but she got a choker, yeah, like a werewolf, like a dog choker. Yeah, she's a guy, yeah, but she's definitely my favorite. Yeah, by far. And we also have what's her name? Rin in To Love Ru. Is that her name? I'm gonna shit in Google a bit there. To Love Ru. Rin. What's her name? Also gender. Rin, right? Kodyu Rin. If I remember correctly here. No. What's her name? There is a girl in To Love Ru that's like she sneezes, I think it is. She changed gender too. What's her name again? What's the name of the gender bender character in To Love Ru? Why can't I? I mean, obviously the main character also has her own, Riku, Rito. Yeah. It's like the female alter ego of the main character. There's a lot of gender bender in To Love Ru. There's a lot of... Mine is probably Riku down here. Rito's main character. No, but we have this one... There's one girl, right? I can't remember her name now, but it's one girl in To Love Ru. She like snitches. She becomes a woman, right? Or a man, back and forth, yeah. And then the main character gets gender bended all the time by, of course, by Lala's, by like his wife's antics. Yeah, that is beautiful. Of course, remember that it's Haruka Tomatsu doing Lala, right? So it's very like one of her classic roles, right? But yeah, To Love Ru is also a good horror anime, definitely. I haven't actually seen the latest. I don't know. What's it called now? Like Darkness, something? I've seen like the first 3 seasons or whatever. I haven't seen the. Yeah, she is arrogant. That's true. No, but To Love Ru is also a good horror anime. Definitely recommend it. Man, what more horror anime is it? And yeah, I mean, obviously To Love Ru, Monster Girls, and so on. But I do prefer like Monster Musume and Yutsubashi, but they are actually monster looking, right? I mean, in To Love Ru, they always look like human with like cute devil tails, right? At the best. I actually prefer it when it's more like when they're actually, full on monster girls. Like that's more interesting. That's cooler, I think. What more horror anime is it? Nisekoi. Oh, Nisekoi is good too. Yeah, I'm taking a list here now. Going to the horror anime now. Nisekoi. That's a good horror anime too. It's so well done by Shaft. It looks beautiful. It also has a kind of cross-dressing tomboy girl, but I actually really like the main character straight up in Isekoi. I just love her, Gorilla-chan. Yeah, I think she's just fantastic. She's just awesome. Of course, a vampire. Yeah, but yeah, Nisekoi is another awesome. Yeah, Sugumi is awesome. But I'll say one thing with Nisekoi, which I'll say immediately. I think it's one of the best opening and in all animes, especially opening 2. I think it's right. Yeah, opening 2 in Nisekoi. That opening is just fantastic. On my other channel I do some opening stuff, maybe on this channel, but Nisekoi opening, man, opening 2, they have this scene where it's like this party, and she can't just ask him out. She gets other friends, and then they're walking at the same time in 3 different paths, and we see them like one that are plotting, and then they're opening like a door, and it turns into their dressers and so on. Then this close that turn into like like there's a bus, and he misses it. The opening is just fantastic, scene by scene. It's like it's a whole episode. It's the opening. It's one of the best openings in my life. The Shaft openings are really good, and generally, Nisekoi is definitely one of the best looking, I would say, horror animes out there. It looks, the color scheme, the hue, all of the graphics in the background and so on. It's very, very Shaft. It looks fantastic. This is one of the best TV Nisekoi. And Nisekoi, though, I think it's a good horror anime in that it's very traditional. It's very like, you know what you get right, but it's very refined. It's very much like it's exactly kind of what you expect, and that is done very well. So I think Nisekoi is definitely one of the very good horror anime. I'd absolutely recommend. I think there's some other horror anime I've seen in my life that my chicken liked across the Amazon. But of course there was Solid Vampire. I think it's the old school horror animes. I have to say I did really like, in a way, in a horror way, I did like Isekai Maora, yeah, How to Summon a Demon Lord. The blue hair protagonist. Oh, Beansprout. The Yandere one, you remember? The blue hair protagonist. Akane. I think by Akane, I'm thinking of. Love Tyrant. Love Tyrant, talking about it. Love Tyrant, in English, I think. I think you're describing Love Tyrant. Yeah, I've seen the whole thing. I did a review about it when it was airing. I didn't react to it, but I reviewed it afterwards. I'm pretty sure it's called Love Tyrant in English. I can't remember the Japanese name for it right now. Renai Bokkun. Is that what it's called? Yeah, Renai Bokkun. The very lovely Tyrant of Love. Yeah. Yeah, that one is really funny. Akane is funny. She's like a Yudu Gasai, right? But less insane. Somewhat. And her mother and aunt are case of two. And, they have this, like, this annoying, devil girl that's like, yeah, that keeps being in his way and so on. Yeah, that's a really funny horror anime. It is really funny. But it definitely, I feel, has a quiet taste, probably. Because it definitely is kind of brutal jokes, right? Where it's like, I will murder you and so on. Yeah, it's very, like, I think you have to, I don't have to have seen, but if you have seen, like, Miraniki, it really helps, right? Because she's running around with cookery blades attacking him and so on. I mean, Yandere is fun, right? But I think that if you would see Love Tyrant without having seen like actual, Yandere animes that focuses more on like, not the horror aspect, but more like, the kind of the troublesome of the Yandere, so to speak. Like that probably isn't as fun, right? Because it's definitely this parody. It's a lot of parody, like Miraniki and so on. I feel Love Tyrant. I think it builds on that a lot, in my opinion. So you have to do that. If you haven't seen the other horror, the other Yandere animes, that horror / genre anime probably isn't that funny. I would say, but I really like it. I like Guri. Yeah, Guri is the. Well, I mean, Mira, you like is just cray, but is the famous Yandere. She's the Yandere that took it dimensionally too far. But I mean, obviously, has the issue that while most Yandere are unrealistic, right, to some extent, there are a few good Yanderes, I think, that could be in real life, but they're probably usually a little overkill. Interesting having an anime with a Yandere character that's like very Yandere, but probably not too far. Yeah, Pioneer is a great word. Yeah, is like the pioneer. Yeah, she's the big namesake of creating that genre, that kind of character, right? I think actually I would argue that Pansy is really a good character, right? I would argue that a reason why Pansy is such a good character in Onosuke, because she's yandere, she's clearly has a stalking, you know, as I saw last episode and so on, right? But Pansy is like an actual realistic yandere, like a yandere could be in real life. They wouldn't like stab you, but she'd be like, you know, I will guess, yeah. But she's more like a, she knows what she wants, so she's gonna get it right. Yeah, she's more like a, a cunning trickster girl, right? That has no qualms of winning, right? So I think that Pansy is a really good character because she is, I would say, definitely a yandere character, but she's not like that murderous, insane yandere, right? That you have in Unigasai and so on. Yeah, she's clearly obsessed, right? So I think that's actually one of the best reasons, again, to Onosuke was a good anime, because they have a yandere character, but the yandere character of Pansy isn't unrealistic. It's an actual, like, real life yandere character. If you have something like no, but I would say that Pansy is a yandere character, but she isn't that a typical extreme yandere. She's more like an actual realistic yandere. So Pansy is like reasonable yandere, right? Where she takes it, to a high degree sometimes, but she would never go like physically and so on, right? She would never go into that, the stabbing thing. So she is like, like an actual person that wouldn't murder someone, right? Where unfortunately most other yandere characters, probably thanks to Unigasai's popularity, they kind of go into that like insanity when they will just murder everyone, right? And so on. Like it's just obsessively insane, and then they usually get away with it too, right? So it doesn't really make any sense. But it's, but yeah, I have a hard time right now thinking of other yandere characters that aren't like, they are kind of more like Pansy, or it's like this is an actual real life person in a sense in the writing, and not just an insane murderous woman. Because usually they are, murderous women. Yeah, usually they are just insane, to too much, right, to some extent, which is not really. It's interesting. But I will say this thing though, because Albado is good, but Albado, I don't know if I call Albado a yandere. Albado is like obsessed, but I don't feel that she's a yandere otherwise. Maybe I guess she will, seek love. I guess you could call her a yandere, but I think Albado does so much stuff otherwise. She's kind of really into it. I suppose she's. But Albado is also more like a functional yandere, I guess, because she's just not really. She's kind of following the orders of one, yeah. I'm trying to find a list of yanderes here, so I'm doing it in. It's a complete video through this thing, but yandere list. There's a horrible comparison, I feel, but I was like, yeah, of course, school days. Oh yeah, Megumi Shimizu. Okay, I like this example here. But I would argue that Pansy is like a soft level yandere. Still though, I mean, she's a stalker, right? She still is like, yeah. So I mean, I would definitely say that Pansy is a yandere. She's just used to murder people, but she's like a yandere. But she's a yandere that works in real life. She's a yandere that doesn't break the law, right? She's like a smart yandere, if anything. I think you always say that Pansy is like an intelligent yandere, where most of the yanderes are kind of like insane, right? She's kind of stupid and obsessed. She's smart and obsessed. So I think that's probably a big thing. For example, Unigasai, I really enjoy the anime, but clearly she's pretty stupid, right? Unigasai is insane, and she could easily get the main character to love her if she played it cool, right? But she isn't. Yeah, and she's obsessed, and she's using it in the wrong way, right? She could easily seduce him, right? In many times, especially at the beginning of the anime, but she really fails because she doesn't understand, like, how human interacts, right? So yeah, Albado is a little harder to specify, because she's like, not really human, not really like the same morale and so on to begin with, right? So it's kind of an iffy thing, I feel. But I look at the list here though. I'm gonna say one thing here. I really like the list because number 6 on the list they have is Tsukiyama, right, from Tokyo Ghoul. He's a man. It's rare you have male yandere, but it's true. He's a male yandere in Tokyo Ghoul. That's true. That is definitely true. He's one of those. Oh yeah, Takami from the Wonderland. It's again the genre, I guess. Yeah. Okay, now the list failed. Revy, the list is on a genre for a second. Revy is just badass. Man, this is a horrible list. People can't freaking write. Oh, she's pretty good genre though. It's a pretty good genre. It's a big spoiler, I suppose, but it's a very good genre in Durara. She's a pretty good genre. That girl, if you see Durara, right? I want to say it here because that is a big spoiler, but there is one girl in Durara that's like, she's very obsessed. But it's not very clear in the beginning. She's a cool female character. Yeah, School Days is like I don't know, but I think School Days is also in the sense that it's not really like, yeah, it's kind of cray, and it's not really like it's more on that thing. School Day is famous, of course, for the death scenes and so on. Yeah, School Days, of course, is. Oh, niiiice is a pretty good obsessed girl too. niiiice in Code Geass. Also, I guess a spoiler, but I don't think it's a big spoiler. But yeah, she's pretty crazy. Yeah, I don't think anyone likes School Days almost, but School Days isn't a very good anime. It's just like a controversial death scene. Yeah, School Days I feel is purely known because it's just cray, right? It's not because it's very well written or really motivated the action of the characters. It's more it's just kind of shock value, right? So, and that also I would say easily. I mean, I've seen School Days, but I didn't like it at all. But I have to say that's probably because the only reason I did watch it, right, is because a lot of people told me that, oh, it's so crazy, it's like a death scene and so on, right? So obviously you get spoiled, right? I think most people also have seen School Days after the shock value, it's not really working because I didn't see it when I was airing. People told me, I saw it just after that. People told me, oh my god, it's crazy, you have to see it, right? And then you see it, and then you're like, oh yeah, you kind of expect it to happen, right? So I think that also kind of ruined it for me though, because obviously the reason I heard about it because the shock of the death scenes or so on, right? So then you see it because of that reason. So yeah, I think so. I would say one thing which I'm not gonna spoil here now at all, but the same thing with compared to School Days is the same thing with like Old Boy. It's called, right? I read the manga. It's really good actually. It's called Old Boy, right? So I'm saying the wrong thing now. Who has a very interesting, insane, yeah, Old Boy. Old Boy is the same way. So I hadn't seen Old Boy. I have a cousin. He's a film. He's into a lot of films. He's like he sees a lot of films and so on, like constantly. Yeah, obsessed with watching every movie basically. He was like, "You have to see Old Boy," and then he was like, "I was like, why would I see Old Boy?" He's like, let me tell you about Old Boy, right?" And he just told me like the main plot, and then I was like, "Whoa, I have to see Old Boy." So I saw Old Boy, right? But it's the same thing there. It's like the only reason I watched Old Boy is because someone already told me kind of the big, reveal, right? Same thing in the School Days. I watched it because someone already told me the big shock value, right? So that happens time from time, right? Yeah, exactly. Pansy is like the perfect, the perfect light-hearted genre, where it's like a cute obsession, and she's controlling it, right? But I think again that because Pansy is an intelligent genre, I would argue, intelligent genre, which is like Uraka is like a stupid genre. I think that's kind of what I would say is a big difference there. Like that, is trying to get her love in the dumbest way possible, right? And Pansy is just really intelligent. So she's also obsessed with her love, but she's doing it in a smart way. Actually, seducing him in a normal way, happy him and so on. With Yuning aside, it's like she could easily have sex with the main character if she wanted to. I'm not mean by forcing it, but I mean more like, gently seducing him. But she's like, no! She's too crazy for it, right? So yeah, with the whole door thing in Miraniki. Like, why isn't she cleaned it up right? That's just so stupid. It's a really cool scene. I love the scene. And you're like, are you home? Yeah, the whole Hashimiya, good night, Yuki. The whole thing, yeah, it's an amazing scene, but at the same time, Yunui is just really stupid. Like that, it doesn't make any sense. She's obsessed with the main character, but she has zero intelligence of trying to get the main character, and she has like zero planning whatsoever. And usually, obsessed people are, they usually plan the methods, right, of their goal, but she doesn't at all, right? That's kind of weird with Yuri Kasai. He's incredibly bad at planning her obsession, how to get to her goal, right? But yeah, where Pansy, of course, instead is playing it, but yeah, teasing and so on. But I think, and it comes to Pansy, her teasing, of course, is a way to seduce the main character, right? So it's like a playful way to get what she wants, right? She's playing it on the smart side, right? So that's why Pansy really works. But yeah, long talk. See you guys tomorrow with more anime stuff, and yeah, check out my super long Pokemon thing again. Final commit box on Discord and so on. It's more on the channel, right? If you wanna see it, but it's also it's not like, as most people said about that video, it's like it's very fair, but people still hate it. Not everyone, but I mean, people hate it because I'm going in like a lot of discussion about it, and because I do that, I think that I managed to hit people on there, actually, because I'm trying to be very well balanced in my Pokemon review. I'm actually hitting people, with hurts, right? Yeah, this video is too long, yeah. This video is too long, yeah. But like in that sense, right? Because I'm hitting them with the hurt because I'm not extreme this or this. I'm kind of in the middle, and that's why my argument Pokemon makes sense, because I'm like why is to end? Yeah, it makes sense, right? But you're gonna be into the harem stuff, right? I'm probably gonna go and rewatch some harem now. Not lifetime, Monster Museum maybe. One harem anime is Girls Bravo. It's a cool harem anime too. With the guy he can't touch girls, right? They're afraid of girls, yeah. And so on. But anyway, see you guys tomorrow with One Piece, Boruto, which I have started watching. And I admit I haven't seen Boruto. I have jumped like 100 episodes of Boruto, right? I skipped like 100 episodes. I'm like, this time travel story is really good. I haven't seen episode like 35 to 130, yeah. But I've seen the latest 3 episodes when they are back in the main story of Naruto. And it's really enjoyable. And it's enjoyable, right? And I really feel that it doesn't matter for a second. Oh, Boruto Rasengan now, like whatever, yeah. Whatever happened, what I missed those episodes, for now at least, it doesn't matter whatsoever. Yeah, like because it's cute, and actually it's quite emotional when like he's afraid of his father now, right? Boruto's afraid of Naruto now since he hurt him. And it's actually for once quite emotional in Boruto, because now he's trying to control himself with his father, right? And he's like, oh no, I hate my own father. Why? Yeah, I see his hate now and so on. And hopefully, because yes, that's a big twist. I said last week to me, the soundtrack is so good too, right? Because they're doing like Sad and Sorrow, they're doing the soundtrack of Boruto, they're throwing in the classic Naruto soundtrack, and it's like gives you a lot of nostalgia trip there. But also the last thing is that I really hope that Boruto will actually, character develop, right? He's like a goddamn spoiled brat, right? In most of the anime, at least, and he's cheating and so on, right? He's a horrible person, and now when he sees his father struggles, maybe he can finally have some character development and be a little more reasonable and so on, right? Maybe respect his father back in the time. I really hope, but I feel they have to deliver. Yeah, Sasuke definitely exposed last week, definitely. I mean, I'm sure Sakura found like a photo of him and her or something, like, it's like her, what, me is a MILF? She's probably like, what? That's me in MILF form, what is this? That's probably what she saw, right? It's like, what, that's me when I'm older, yeah. But probably, right? So, that's gonna be weird. And they have to, I guess, do some kind of mind time ninjutsu, so everyone gets mind wiped or something, because it doesn't make, otherwise everyone knows soon, I feel, that they're from time traveling. So they're really bad at being stealthy and ninja about that thing. Yeah, it's like they're really bad. Actually, I think the scene, in a sense, I have to say that, I think it's cute that she's gonna figure it out. But man, Sasuke is a freaking noob, and I think that's the force though. Like Sasuke, the second strongest ninja in the universe, dropped the photo or something. He's so talentless suddenly. So he's very forced in that sense that Sasuke would do something like that. So I mean, it's probably gonna be very comedic probably. So I guess I'm just gonna be like, it's probably pretty fun. But it's also like, man, Sasuke should be way better than this if you go from like his power level, right? He shouldn't be able to like drop something like that. So, but I would say one thing though, the Jiraiya part is could he figure it out, because Jiraiya is like, I have trained Minato, I have trained Naruto, I'm not trained this kid called Boruto, and he looks exactly the same. All three of them, and they all have the Rasengan. He's like, what could this be? But yeah, Sasuke got like some super extra level Rinnegan and Sharingan, right? And he drops a photo like a child, right? Yeah, it's like, oh man. So I mean, you have to have a little, I feel, thin glass, eyes when you watch Boruto, because clearly most of the stuff doesn't make any sense. And like clearly Sasuke should be able to defeat this other guy immediately. But it's like, oh, I'm pretty weakened since something happened before this time travel, so I can't really fight with full force. So I'm only going with my sword or something. It's like really ridiculous. The Sasuke is instant win, right? But it's like, no, I have to like, recover my chakra for like 5 episodes or something. So I think it's enjoyable, but also it's very much like there is a lot of this. Yeah, and Boruto goes, yeah. But it's a lot of that why they aren't using their full powers, right? It's like a lot of like, force plot around it. It's like, oh, I can't use my Tenshinhan because then it will figure out this thing or something, or I can't activate it right now because of, it's a lot of like, excuses for not using their full powers, right? It's kind of funny. It's kind of funny, right? It's a lot like that. So you have to be, I feel, a little bit like, you have to ignore and be like, hey, it's enjoyable, yeah. It's enjoyable, but it's a bit like... Anyway, see you guys with the Boruto rest of tomorrow. And I think Vinland Saga is back tomorrow, so it was delayed last week. I think it's back tomorrow, right? And then next week, Watashi, Norioki, which I really enjoy. Back Clover, right? Back Clover is really good, so on. And so for subscribe, hit the like button, and I'll see you guys tomorrow with some more anime stuff.